The good, the bad, and the ugly of apartment living.
Every time you're about to talk, this interrupts you, and then you have to quit.
What'd you say? Huh? Oh yeah?
Welcome to Frank and Angie's channel, where we discuss the retire early lifestyle, whether it's at home or abroad. So we're enjoying our apartment here in Cuenca, Ecuador. You'll have to excuse the lighting. It's really good, and I don't look that good because I don't sleep here. But yeah, so this is the first time that we've lived in a building, isn't it? Like on the 6th floor, let's see, we had a house.
We had an apartment in Italy.
Yeah, but that was a small building. This is like a big building with a lot of people in it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty
like
big.
a big building with a bunch of people. And for a $300 apartment, it's got walk-in closets, which is pretty amazing. We've got we each have our own side walk-in closets. And we've even got a little balcony right here we can enjoy, get some fresh air. So yeah, I've never much been an apartment guy, you know, because I've always enjoyed having a little yard, stuff to do in the yard. There's pros and cons to both, because I know that when we were in the house, we did enjoy the yard, even though it wasn't a very big yard. You know, I had a little garden in it. At least I had a little garden. You can go outside. The weather's pretty much mostly nice here, and you can go out there and enjoy the garden, play around with the dirt, you know, that kind of thing. But there's pros and cons, you know, like for example, in the house, there's always like people coming right at the gate, people knocking at the gate. You know, you'd get like beggars would come around, you know, and you'd give them some bananas or something. And then, you know, salespeople would come around wanting to mow your lawn or this, that, and the other, wanting to sell this and that, you know. If I want to buy something, I go out, but they come to your house, ring your doorbell, you know. So here in an apartment, you don't get any of that. You don't get any of the salespeople. It's really peaceful, really peaceful, you know, in the apartment. In a big building, it's a little bit more secure. It's got the security. So it doesn't have the people always coming around, ringing the doorbell, bothering you. So that's the pros and cons, some of the pros and cons of that. And this place is pretty nice, pretty new. It's got the views, which you can't eat. Can't eat views, I always say, you know. And a lot of places here in Ecuador don't have ovens, but this place has an oven. You see, we made a nice fresh homemade pizza.
It smells really good. Angelo made a deep dish pizza. It's vegetarian.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be.
Wow, look at that. That's pretty deep dish, all right.
So I'm just saying, you know, even though I'm normally not much of an apartment guy, there's actually reasons to enjoy an apartment. And those are some of the reasons that we enjoy the apartment. It's also pretty quiet because it's on the 6th floor, and I mean, it can get noisy. The main road is not too far, but all you got to do is close the windows and you don't hear anything. Whereas in the house, it just, every time a car went by, you heard it. And even at night, like at 3 o'clock in the morning, if somebody drove by and wanted to honk their horn, there you were, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, and people did that. Sometimes, you know, they did that. And then of course the security is a big deal, which I've already mentioned. And in the house we had a pretty peaceful life for the first few years, but we made a video about the prowler situation, that the situation changed in the neighborhood. The neighborhood changed, you know. And good thing we were just renting, and we ended up moving. So, and then you know, we talked about the security situation in all of Ecuador with, you know, with all that's been going on in 2020 and how it's affected the security situation. So it's good to be in a security building. One thing is, I had a friend years ago that lived in a building. That it wasn't like a big building like this one with lots of people, but it was a building, and we were living in a house at the time with the yard. And he was telling me how it was a nice building. It was on the lake. You know, he had lake views. He could walk down to the lake, have a little weenie roast and stuff. But he would complain to me and say, yeah, it's much better to live in a house. And I'd be like, why? And he's like, well, you know, I can smell the people smoking through the vents from downstairs, you know. Well, guess what? The neighbor does barbecues on the weekends. And okay, well, you know, we just shut the door. But yeah, if you have to, you start smelling that really strong barbecue because he's right below you and it just comes right up in your window. Well, here you can hear, it's not just smoke, but you can hear people singing in the shower in the vents.
Yeah, we hear this about a couple times a week, usually in the mornings.
So, you know, I don't know, what can they hear? I mean, can they hear me making this video? I don't know. You know, so I mean, you know, there's pros and cons. But that brings me to, you know, this video and the idea of this video. We just got a notice. Somebody, you know, the administration, I guess, put a little leaflet behind the door with all the building rules. Yeah, building rules. So I never really thought I'd live in a building, but here I am, and here's the building rules. But gosh, there's no less than almost 24 rules. Can you believe that? 24 rules. It's in Spanish. You know, just funny stuff like don't make noise. I mean, you're telling Italians not to make noise. You know, that's just a conflict in the making. I mean, it's just, you know, Italians, they just don't know how to not make noise. You know? So, I mean, it's like we don't have enough people nowadays, especially in 2020, telling us what we got to do. Now we got another body telling us what we got to do. So, but overall, though, we're enjoying the apartment, and you know, it's $300 a month plus building fee. So
are we gonna make it back before it starts raining? It's not raining. Frank just has the umbrella ready.
I'm covered.
We're just taking a walk. Have to exercise them legs.
All right, well, thanks for watching.